All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Bangtail Whiskey. I am Jeff Stanfield with Andy Shaver.
That's all that I am.
Today.
That is all that I am, just Andy Shaver.
A man that autographs shirts and gets pictures made with is not just an plain old Andy Shaver.
We need to pick a winner.
You need to get together and figure out how we're going to do all that.
We're just going to put names in hats and all that good stuff.
While we're talking about that, we're going to have Clay Reed and his wife on tomorrow. I don't know when this podcast will drop, and that one will drop because we're doing 2 weeks worth at once. But anyways, Clay, we are giving a hunt away with Clay Reed. So everybody that listens to the Clay Reed stuff, we're going to give a hunt away. It's $25 a raffle ticket. The raffle goes to the scholarship fund. My dad's, Ron Stanfield's Memorial Scholarship Fund for a Knox County kid. Now, I put that up on Facebook, and they dropped it off and said you can't do gambling. How the hell do these guys do all these waffles and stuff? Makes no sense. Anyways, it's $25 per ticket or 6 tickets for $100. You can do PayPal. You can do Venmo. All you got to do is look me up on Facebook and get the information from me, and I can tell you where to do it at.
What do they win? They
win a 2-day guided coyote hunt and hog hunt with Clay Reed with lodging. I mean, that's a hell of a deal. Get to hang out with Clay for 2 days. Now, if you're a real sensitive Sally, you might not enjoy it that much. But if you're a regular person, you're going to love being around Clay. Clay's funny as hell. So, anyways, it's a really good deal. It goes for a good cause. Look it up. But look it up if you can. But they keep pushing it off on Facebook when I put it out there, so who knows?
For gambling.
For gambling. That's a gamble. There's a whole lot more gambles. If you get on a fucking airplane, it's a gamble. If you go to a big city, it's a gamble. If you eat fast food Mexican restaurant, not by toilet, that's a big gamble. So.
That is right.
What else you got going on in the world?
It's hot.
Hey, I'll take a glass of ice, Tony. I thought you was on a diet and you're drinking a Dr. Pepper. Oh, shit, I thought that was diet. Okay, Coach. What do you think about, have you been paying attention to anything on the news lately?
No, not really.
I guess Joe Biden is making an ass of the United States.
Well, what do you figure about that?
He got confused. Syria and Palestine the other day got it confused 2 or 3 times, which I'm going to give somebody a break for getting confused on shit.
That's a fucking...
But he's got fucking dementia.
That's not an easy region to keep your finger and keep everything straight on.
No. I understand where people would get confused or make a mistake on what they say.
Right.
He's got a teleprompter on him. He wears a fucking earpiece. We never had a president wear a fucking earpiece so somebody can talk and tell him what to say.
What makes you think he wears an earpiece?
He's pretty open about the damn thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a big fucking shock at all.
Biden wears an earpiece.
Yeah, look it up. It ain't just going to be on one of them Q pages. But we're at a place in our country where we got this fucking ass clown representing us to the world. And I guess today they told him that he couldn't be interviewed by any foreign press. Well, then why the fuck did he go? Why didn't he just stay his fucking old crippled ass up at home?
All I'm getting are old articles.
Tony's Joe Biden wearing an earpiece?
Well, he's not he's a Q guy.
The real Joe Biden's dead, Tony said.
And that's the guy that you're going to ask if he's wearing an earpiece.
Yeah, never mind. You totally...
Showed his colors.
Yeah.
All this is from, like, the debate season, so I'm not finding any new articles on Joe Biden wearing an earpiece.
Well, he wears one. He don't know what the fuck's going on.
That's what you say.
You think he knows what's going on?
I don't know.
Do you think so?
Huh?
Do you think Joe Biden knows what's going on in the world right now?
I just like how when he takes questions, he's like, oh, my staff is going to hate this.
Yeah. Okay, there's one. Biden is wearing an earpiece during pressers now.
Where?
The third one down.
Oh, that's May 22nd.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Let's take a little look-see.
Where did I put? I left my fucking glasses on.
Tiger droppings. Yep, that's.
I don't even know who the hell that is. I'm just telling you what it said.
This is blatant, and nobody on his side will admit it. I don't know. I'm not gonna look too far into tigerdroppings.com to get valid information.
Yeah, I'm coming straight from common sense. The motherfucker is got problems. He's got dementia. I've been around a bunch of old, confused people before, and that's what he acts like. I mean, he can't take questions. They can't ask him anything. Compared to Donald Trump standing up there and talking and taking questions from the press from 9 out of 10 people hated him, they're not doing that at all with him because he can't handle it.
Right. It's all, what's your favorite ice cream?
Yeah.
What ice cream you got today, Joe? Double chocolate chip.
Saw today or yesterday or something, someone was asking Reverend Al Sharpton. First of all, I can't believe anybody asked that motherfucker anything. And they asked him, what do you think about the tax brackets? I think rich people need to pay more taxes. It's only fair. This is the motherfucker that owes $4 million in taxes.
Yeah. Rules for thee, but not for me.
Okay. News break right there. Watch. Joe Biden doesn't realize earpiece is out.
Turn up.
Yeah. I mean, he does. He wears a fucking earpiece.
That's what you keep saying, Jeff. Just because you say it a bunch of times doesn't make it true.
Have you seen the video of Oprah Winfrey taking the vaccination?
There was nothing in it.
No.
Right.
If you're going to fake shit out, would you at least not put something fucking in it?
Joe Biden suffers an awkward moment on Friday when his earpiece came out. This was
during an appearance on CNBC.
And not realizing it during the device could be seen sticking out of his left ear. Is that not like an earpiece that like he's getting the talking with the people on?
No, it's a
like
fucking earpiece from someone's telling him. No, he's not a news anchor.
He's in an interview with CNBC. I'm assuming it's over the internet, kind of like we do. Is that not how he's getting to talk to the host?
Sometimes I think you live in a nice place.
Uh-huh.
You do. You live in a preacher's world.
Okay.
You live in a world where everybody's good.
Is that not where his audio's coming from?
No, it's coming from Barack Obama or Susan Rice probably. That's what he's got an earpiece and he's getting fucking people telling him what to say.
I'm not saying he doesn't have an earpiece, but is that how he's hearing the host?
No.
He's not taking in-person interviews. Now, if you're telling me that's an in-person interview, then all of a sudden it's a different conversation.
That's an earpiece that he's wearing so his handlers can tell him what the fuck to say.
According to you.
Yes, me. Jeff Stanfield thinks that Joe Biden is getting fucking information fed to his dumb, old, crippled up, dementia-ridden ass. Yes, that's what I think.
News break.
Yeah. Who would it be from to make you get excited? Would it come, if it come from the Democratic National Party's website, then you'd say, oh, this is real.
Fox News. If
So
if Fox News was reporting it, I'd say it was real. If Newsmax or...
Well, I don't know what Newsbreak is. I didn't know what Newsmax was a year ago, so maybe they're the new Newsmax.
Could be. But yeah, not Newsmax, not Tiger Droppings.
I agree with you on that one. I gave you Tiger Droppings,
but
wherever the fuck Tiger Droppings. I'm just telling. Well, fuck, they don't want to put it on their shit because they with him.
Why?
It doesn't matter what I say.
No. I mean, it does. You're not doing a good job of articulating why you think it is, other than you saw it on Tiger Droppings.
I've seen multiple times that he's made reference to an earpiece or someone say something. The man's on a fucking earpiece. Is what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. Did you see where this is only going to be local for people that know anything about area? Did you see where the little girl Haley Dunn from Colorado City, they finally arrested some guy for her murder 10 years ago?
Who's Haley Dunn?
Remember the little 13-year-old girl that was missing? It's probably when you were in high school. Anyway, she was missing from Colorado City, was a junior high cheerleader, and she came up missing, and they couldn't find her. Anyways, they arrested the mom's boyfriend, 10 or 13.
Really?
Right there, the second one. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. And that's on CBS News, so you'll believe it.
Well,
I understand it. I'm giving you a hard time.
Found dead 2 years after disappearance.
Okay, that's even older when she's found 2 years, but they arrested a guy yesterday on it. Heard the mom's boyfriend got arrested. He made $2 million bond, and he bonded out, which kind of really surprised me.
Right. That's a sad deal. But, yeah. Telling you, these women, they got to do a good job of calling out these guys. It's a sad deal. No, I don't remember that at all. If it was in 2013, I was in college. No, I was out of college by then.
Anyways, it was all over the news. It was a bad deal, really bad deal.
But they still don't know who killed John Bonet.
Probably Jeffrey Epstein, if I'm guessing.
I had seen something that it was the brother. This is one of those like late night.
No, that
Phil Donahue
The
type
brother was
shot-
one of the
talk
people that they
shows.
were looking for.
He's a kid.
Well, there's some evil fuckers in the world.
John Bonet. That was one that was weird.
John Benet Ramsey.
Well, yeah. Of course, Jeff. Everybody knows.
You
John
had it right
Bonet.
there on there.
Murder solved.
Yeah, I bet this is going to be fucking from Tiger Droppings, too.
Half brother recalls.
Her parents are both dead now, too.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. It was a weird deal.
Well, first thing's weird is you got these 6-year-old fucking kids in these beauty contests.
Honey Boo Boo.
You know, I watched Honey Boo Boo, the show.
Oh, I know you did.
I thought it was very funny.
You loved it.
I always felt bad for her dad.
The little guy?
Sugar Bear, Honey Bear, whatever his name is. Fuck yeah, I married that fucking moose.
She's probably just grinding the shit out of him every night.
Ugh.
He loved it.
I bet she had toe cheese. That one was nasty.
24 years ago.
Yep.
Whoo. John Bonet's half-brother, John Andrew Ramsey, said he was getting ready to meet his father's family, including John Bonet, in Michigan the day after Christmas when he found out that she was missing.
And she was downstairs stuffed in the fucking cellar.
Yeah.
Or the basement or something. It's all sorts. These freaking people that put these kid beauty contests and stuff. There's some fucked up stuff. You know, we were driving down the road, come back from St. Louis the other day, and there was a Suburban in front of us, and it's like they have this sign on the back of it that our daughter is the something county beauty queen.
Oh yeah.
You know, why would you advertise that shit with all these fuckers these days?
Yeah.
You know, it's not 1972 anymore. And
Well, no, you had a much better shot at getting abducted back then.
I still don't believe anything you're saying about that. But
We've looked at the stats
no, you've showed me some stuff. I don't.
from the FBI.
Today, it's easier to look up stuff than it was back then. Today, you can get on a laptop just like we are right now. You can put in
Okay.
some kid's deal and you can get all their information. Back then, you couldn't do that shit.
But child abduction was worse in the 70s. We've gone over this so many times.
I
I don't understand why it's such a hard time.
I don't understand why you think that's true because I don't.
Why don't you?
When did they ever have all these sex trafficking rings in the 70s?
So they just the numbers are wrong?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Fucking FBI's lying.
See, this is why we can't have this is the problem right here.
What's the problem?
I hand you information.
Hey, show it to me right now.
Valid information.
You show me where they busted all these sex traffickers in the 70s. They didn't do
They
it.
didn't.
Oh, I know it.
They didn't.
Because it wasn't going around like that.
Yes, it was.
It was just in the 70s they had sex trafficking like they have to do today.
Oh, I'm sure they
I'm
did.
sure they had it, but they don't have it like they do today. No
It's
bullshit.
not as publicized as it is today.
Yeah, they kept it under real wraps. Nobody knew it was going on.
It is, you had a way better shot at getting abducted a long time ago than you do today. All violent crime has plummeted, contrary to what you may believe.
So would you say that's the case right now in Memphis,
All
in Detroit, in St.
violent
Louis?
crime is way, way down.
Look up. Let's do this then.
We can do whatever you want. I will
Violent
look up
crimes
anything
in
that you want.
Chicago in 1975 or
That's a
1980.
microcosm. It's up in these places, but overall, worldwide, it is way, way, way down. Way down. I'm not saying that there aren't hot spots. I've never said that.
You got a computer? Do it there. Computer
Jeff,
whiz.
I'm conceding here that you are right. Violence is terrible in Chicago. Way worse today than it was in the 70s. Way worse. You can look at Portland. You can point out a ton of
Let's
cities.
look at sex trafficking.
But they are tiny, tiny examples.
Okay.
Whereas overall, the big picture is you're safer today than you ever have been.
Sex trafficking in the 80s compared to sex trafficking in 2000.
We've done this, and I'll do it again, and you'll fucking lose every single time.
Okay.
Sex trafficking or abduction?
Child sex trafficking.
Because you're moving the goalpost here.
We'll go with child sex trafficking. I think it's worse today than it ever has been.
Okay. My fucking search engine. I'm telling you what.
You're on Yahoo. What's wrong with that now?
Well, just some of the shit I looked up.
How to deep throat a goat. What the fuck are you doing?
Let's do something else. Let's do stats. That way it looks like I'm writing a research paper or something.
Who do you care?
Well, Jeff, I don't want people fucking human trafficking 70s from today. Do you pick?
It doesn't matter. I'm good.
You're
I'm either gonna tell you I was wrong and you were right, or you're gonna say, Jeff, you're right again.
Well, pick.
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Website.
It
You
doesn't
want the
matter.
first one?
Go to the second one, middle one. We'll go in the middle.
GuardianGroup.org.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm sure that's not a good enough one for you.
I'll go with it.
Okay.
We can look at a couple, but we've looked at this before.
Tony, would you grab my glasses for me? Never mind. Tony's gone already.
Sex trafficking has been reported in 50 states with more than 80% of the victims, and 1 of 6 runaways is likely to be a victim of sex trafficking. Who buys sex? Well, 99% of the buyers are male.
Well, fucking women don't have to buy that shit.
I'm not. I can't. There's nothing there.
Okay. Go to the next one.
There's nothing there.
Go back.
Well, I just got to close that.
Human trafficking, the first one is what you want.
I was going to go with the first one, but I didn't think it was going to be a good enough good enough thing for you. Oh, I'm going to have the FBI knocking on my door.
Mail order brides.
Now, there are more slaves today than there was even during the slave trade days.
Me and Mom just watched a deal on Anastasia King. She was killed by a guy in Oregon.
Really?
Yep. It's on.
What was she doing, like jogging?
No, she was a human. She was coming over to get married to this guy. And he killed her for a fat chick. I was kind of shocked by that.
Huh?
He killed her for a fat chick.
I'm confused.
He flew this chick over to get engaged to her and marry her.
Anastasia King?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think it's pretty much it looked just like her in that story. And she came from Russia. She come over here and she was going to marry him. And he gave her he stole a engagement ring from this other gal and gave it to her and was going to marry her. And then decided he wanted the fat chick instead. So he shot this girl in the head a couple of times. Left her in the woods in Oregon or something.
There are
That's
an
the same
estimated 35.8 million people enslaved around the world. There are more people in slavery today than there was at any other time in history. Every 30 seconds, a person is abducted. But I don't know. It's not giving me like numbers though.
Okay,
I
go
want
ahead.
numbers.
I think we'll just disagree. We'll just agree to disagree on this.
Well, I mean, if you're saying
I think there's more child sex trafficking today than there was in the 70s.
then let's look up child abductions.
Bottom one, child sex trafficking statistics.
No, I'm not going to look at that because it's making my stomach.
Child sex trafficking and abductions are two different things.
Huh?
Some kids get abducted and they just kill them. It's not the same fucking thing.
I'm going to look up child abduction stats.
Okay.
Because this is making me nauseous. Childhood.
There you go. There's your article right there from
BBC?
the BBC.
Let's look at it.
That,
Childhood in the U.S. safer in the 1970s.
no, it says safer than in the 70s. So
Huh?
it's saying it's safer today than it was in the 70s. Fuck yeah, it is, because kids stay home and play fucking video games all day. They don't go outside.
Duke University. Do we trust Duke University?
Fuck no.
No,
Bunch
we're
of
not
rich
trusting.
bastards.
We're not
Yeah, that's
trusting
fine. That's
Duke?
fine. No, we can go ahead. They're good.
Duke University's Children Well-Being Index has been recording the state of childhood, and I've still got this light fucking with my eyes. Children and teenagers are less likely to be victims of violent crimes, while risky behavior like binge drinking and smoking cigarettes are in the decline.
Paragraph 4 just says what I just said.
But researchers say safer lives could also reflect they don't spend as much time outside.
Yep.
Safer but overweight.
Yeah, little fat fuckers need to get outside and start doing some shit.
Safer but overweight.
Yeah,
So in the long term,
they're fucking dying.
you got a better shot at getting abducted because
Yeah.
now you're just going to die 50 years from diabetes, you little fat shit.
I'm just saying, growing up, I never heard anything about.
Because you didn't have the news like you do today.
Fucking, it was on every day, twice a day
No.
at 5. Yeah, it is. Come on at 5:30 and it come on.
Did you get anything from El Paso? Did you hear any news?
I did. A kid in El Paso
You
did.
heard Wichita Falls news.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah, and I see the Wichita Falls kids getting abducted and shit all the time.
But now you go to your phone and you've got news from everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Okay, we're gonna flip the script then. Okay.
Hold on.
There's nothing to. I mean, we've talked about this. There's no answer that's showing it.
Yes, it is.
Duke says that it was safer, but you're a bunch of fat fucks that don't go outside right now. So if you
The
wanna,
level of violent crime victimization of up to age 19 climbed through the 80s, peaked in the 90s, and then fell sharply, reaching its lowest point in 2010.
well, see,
it
it's
has since
2021.
risen again.
There you go.
but also remains below the average for the 4 decades. So I'm right again, Jeff.
No, you said it keeps following. It doesn't. It's going back up again now.
It's down, but it's up, but it's still down from the 1970s. This fucking Mayberry time that you think it was, and it wasn't.
No, the
it
Mayberries
was not
were in the 50s and 60s.
Okay, well, it wasn't. It was the 70s and 80s were a cesspool time in the United States. It was terrible.
Well, I lived in them
Drug
times. And it wasn't.
drug use was it's rampant, Jeff.
Whoa.
Rampant.
Bullshit. Read the next article.
Crack.
It says that the use of illicit drugs, mostly cannabis, has remained more constant in the last 20 years. Do you see that? They didn't even have fucking shit going on. They didn't have crack.
Oh,
when
you
I
had
was growing
crack
up.
in the 70s.
No, you didn't. Crack wasn't come around until the 80s. We didn't have ecstasy. They had heroin and cocaine.
Oh, bullshit, because they had ecstasy at Woodstock, Jeff.
Look it up.
They had ecstasy at Woodstock.
No, they had PCP.
You're
and acid.
insane.
Look it up, then, smartass.
I'm gonna look it up. As soon as I finish reading this article that proves that I'm right. Anyway, so what did you say to look up? When was ecstasy invented?
Yeah, when did ecstasy hit the United States?
Okay.
I'm gonna say it was in the 80s, 90s,
50s.
Well, look it up then.
Fucking Mayberry time.
Do you want to bet on this one,
Jeff? Everything's about money with you.
I didn't say we had to bet money.
What else is there to bet? I'm not gonna bet Twizzlers.
Look it up.
I'm going to. When did, I don't even know how to spell it, ecstasy, my poor fucking.
When did ecstasy come out? The second one down. All you got to do is hit on it. There you go.
1912. Ecstasy was originally developed by the Merrimack Pharmaceutical Company in 1912. 1953, the Army started using it in psychological warfare tests, and then it resurfaced in the 60s.
When did it hit the streets?
In the 60s.
No, it wasn't.
See, that's what you do. You move the
hold
goalpost.
on. No, I said it was going to be. Nobody was buying ecstasy when I was in school. You didn't ever hear about nobody taking no ecstasy.
I'm not saying you didn't hear it. You also grew up in Wichita Falls, but it was around.
I went to Dallas all the fucking time.
Oh, give me a break.
Fuck, I lived in Dallas for a little bit. People wasn't taking ecstasy really. I'm telling you, and crack didn't come out till the mid 80s.
Crack
didn't come out till the 80s. They derived it off of fucking cocaine. It was something they got out of cooking the cocaine. The shitty part.
What'd you say?
Crack.
The shitty part?
That's ecstasy.
No.
Yeah, they.
Popular in the U.S.
Yep.
How about that? The 1980s.
Okay.
It became a party drug.
Yeah, see, it would have been the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, okay.
No, I grew up in mid 80s.
Okay.
I never heard of it ever until I got out. I was out in college at least. But it wasn't nothing common.
The rave culture.
That
in the 80s.
that would have been the late 80s. Okay, you look and see when crack came out. Crack was in the mid 80s.
I'm just writing a research paper here, Google. So like, don't come knocking on my door. 1980s, early 80s, crack epidemic.
I think it was it probably was in L.A. and stuff in New York.
What was it in this documentary I just watched, The Sons of Sam? They talked about the drugs were so bad in New York City.
Drugs were bad in New York. It didn't come until watch New Jack City. That's what it's about, anyways, and how they come over. And theirs came from Jamaica is when they first started getting.
But I could have. When did? I'm gonna look at it. When did
but like Colors, which is the movie about the gangs with Robert Duvall and Sean Penn, that show came out in like 1988, maybe 87, 88, and that's when the crack epidemic was really getting going.
No, that says the mid 80s too in New York City.
That's when it started really coming out.
There was something in the 60s and 70s.
Probably heroin, black tar heroin, because it come from Vietnam.
That's it. What was the what mayor did? The mayor did heroin of like Baltimore or something, right?
No, you're thinking of the guy at Washington D.C. Marion Barry. He smoked crack with Hunter Biden. Even matter of fact, true story.
Really?
Yeah, it just all came out just like the other day. Marion Barry. But that was.
But he smoked crack with Hunter.
He smoked crack. Yeah, Hunter supposedly bragged about him smoking crack with Marion Barry. So
I bet he used the N-word too.
Well, he did on all his emails. Speaking of the Clintons and stuff, what do you think about this other guy committing suicide?
Which guy?
Guy just the other day, the guy that come out that released the story about Loretta Lynch when she was Attorney General and Bill Clinton. on the Arizona, on the tarmac in Arizona. Yeah, it was big news. Why did the former president meet with the current attorney general when Hillary was running for president? And he said they just talked about grandkids and stuff and bullshit, and they had their airplanes parked at the tarmac, and they went for it was a real secret deal. Anyways, the reporter that come out and said it. Matter of fact, look at this. Christopher Sign is the name going down right there.
Yeah.
He released it. Anyways, he just come out and suicided himself.
Really?
He'd been on Fox News and said he'd had all kinds of death threats.
Oh, well, I'm sure.
The Clintons are as bad as a fucking drug cartel when it comes to shit.
They got good luck on their side.
I'm telling you.
Just about time the fucking walls have closed in.
Someone kills himself.
Or bad lawnmower accident or something crazy. Heart attack.
I hope that buck-toothed, nasty-ass fucking daughter of theirs has to go to hell for all the shit her parents have done.
Sign passed away this weekend. Authorities are still investigating.
Yeah,
his
shot
death
himself
as a suicide.
twice in the back of the head. There's a guy that wrote a paper about the CIA in Nicaragua or somewhere selling cocaine, and he wrote a big article on it, and he committed suicide. And no shit, he shot himself twice in the back of the head. You're a tough fucker to shoot yourself in the back of the head.
Yeah. Christopher Sign went on Fox News recently about the death threats he just said after breaking the Clinton tarmac story. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, how do they get by with that shit?
I don't know. Like you would figure, because they're so disconnected from it, and the people that they've got are so good at what they do. Everybody should be afraid.
Yeah, them old fucking hollered out old bastard.
Like you don't want them on your bad side.
No, I mean, there's a lot of people think that Anthony Bourdain was killed by them.
Yeah, and that Chester Bennington, I think.
Yep.
They were all speaking out against, I guess, child sexual abuse.
How long does it till this little girl from Fox News kills herself and come out yesterday?
I have not seen anything.
That girl come out yesterday and said that Fox News was suppressing her stories.
What story?
It was either on voting fraud or something, and she come out live on Fox News yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. I wish Tony was here. He'd know for sure because he's a Q
yeah.
member. Him, Logan, and Mom, they're part of the Qs.
Logan doesn't seem like a Q.
He's a Q guy too.
No, I don't think he is.
You ask him.
I think he was for a little bit, but I think
No, he still is.
He's faded down.
I don't think so. It's all part of the plan, Andy.
All part of the plan.
Look up Fox News. Fox News reporter comes out.
Comes out.
Yeah,
what?
just put that, and it'll probably come right to it.
Okay. Like commit suicide or what? Found dead?
No, she came out against about being suppressed.
Suppressed. Fox News 26 reporter
That's it,
says
right there.
Fox Corps muzzling her.
Yep.
I don't know. Pink Floyd?
No, Pink Floyd disses Facebook on something. I saw that. Facebook wants to use their music and they won't let them.
Oh.
It just came out yesterday. I saw it earlier. It was all over the news yesterday.
Oh, well.
But
why should we be surprised? But no, I don't think Logan is a big Q person. I think he did it during election time, but he doesn't. He's like me. He doesn't care anymore.
It's hard to care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is. Whistleblower. Whistleblower at Fox News tells about how bad there's no better way than another mainstream media. Local Fox News reporter, I'm being muzzled, and James O'Keefe will blow the lid off of it today. So the Veritas deal is going to come out.
I thought we didn't like Project Veritas.
Oh, what do we have against Project Veritas?
Shit, there's so many different stuff. And that's another thing. There's too much news out there.
Well, if shit happens.
Too much news. You can't keep anything straight. I just can't.
What do you think's happening good in our world right now?
What's happening good?
Mm-hmm.
The Sahara Desert is shrinking, so we don't have to worry about.
Did you see where Netanyahu's out?
Desertification.
That can't be good.
Netanyahu?
Yeah, 61-60 or something.
He lost?
Yeah, in some kind of parliamentary move or some shit. Did you see where?
What does that mean? Like he's not in the UN anymore?
UN,
or not
I don't think he's the prime minister of Israel. I don't know for sure. Me and Israel do not know. I'm pretty lame on Israel stuff. Did you see that? God dang it! That made me think of something that was really important too. I guess it wasn't because I've already forgot what it was. Something else in the world was going on. I know what it was. The Democrats are leaning real hard on the Supreme Court justice to retire the old guy, the old liberal.
Right.
Because dickhead Moscow Mitch McConnell has said that in January and next year he's going to be in power again. It's pretty much a done deal that's going to happen. Anyways, when he takes over the Senate, he says he will not call up anybody for a Supreme Court nomination until we get rid of Biden.
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
Well, of course it is. But, now they're wanting this guy to retire so they can get someone else in there.
Right. Here's a way. The percentage of the world's population living in extreme poverty has plummeted since 1950. That's a very good way. That's a very nice headline. That's less than $1 a day.
That what?
Over 50% of the world lives on $1 a day.
Well, some places things are pretty fucking cheap.
Well, so now it's all going up. So there's a nice little headline that you won't see.
How long are
Let's look at number 2.
Why are we responsible for third world countries' poverty?
Let's look at number 2. The percentage of the world's population who can read has skyrocketed since that same period. That's a good thing. More literate people since the 1950s.
Okay.
Homicide and deaths in war have been decreasing for centuries.
Well, we ain't had no fucking big wars.
That's a positive.
You know what?
We've been at war.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Civil War in the United States, we ain't had nobody killed in 150 fucking years in one. That's about what that headline's saying.
That's a good thing that there's not as many wars. Would you not agree?
No, that paragraph is that headline is misleading. Homicides and deaths in war have been decreasing for centuries.
Right.
Yeah, because we haven't had a big fucking war.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful headline. Only a jaded person would try to spin it as otherwise. That's fantastic.
Must be jaded because what they should be saying is we haven't had a big war lately. Well, that's a
fantastic.
Good thing. That is a good thing. But don't act like it's the wars we have nowadays are not killing as many people. We haven't had. Big
I don't
wars.
think. What does that say? Between 1,300 and 1,500 Englishmen were murdered at an annual rate of about 20 per 100,000.
Okay.
It's saying there's not as much war.
That's good.
That's awesome.
But their headline, I don't like they did it.
Oh, well, sorry. How would you write it then? There's not as much war.
We haven't had a big war in 60 years, and that's a good thing, or 40 years.
Longer than that.
No, Vietnam War was very deathly and horrible.
Motor vehicle deaths are dropping. Awesome.
Okay.
More life expectancy has risen.
Yes.
That's good. Would you not agree? Clean energy is getting cheaper and cheaper.
I'd say that's bullshit.
You don't think so?
I just filled up fucking truck yesterday.
Is that considered clean energy though? I mean, it's what we have, but
what would you consider clean energy?
I don't know. Is that talking about renewable energy or?
I don't know. I
think that's what it's saying there. Solar energy.
Energy is not getting cheaper and cheaper though.
Fossil fuels. I don't think fossil fuels is clean energy.
More and more countries are adopting democratic forms of government. I call bullshit on that because I know one big country that lost their democracy. We live in that fucker.
Racist, sexist, homophobic attitudes are becoming increasingly rare. That's true.
More
people.
I'm not near as sexist as I used to be.
School bullying has decreased. That's because we've had too many
because kids are pussies.
Columbines. People are working fewer hours and nevertheless earning more.
We have less bullying because kids are pussies. You don't take a kid can talk shit all the time, or a kid can start trouble all the time and go home to mom and dad and he don't get nothing happens to him. Kids today need a little bit of bullying. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bullied sometime in your life. Now, there's going way overboard on stuff. But for some kid to pick on you or to take your lunch once or for them to haze you at school, I don't think that's the worst thing in the world.
No, it toughens you up.
But they don't want to make it that way.
Right.
We are raising a bunch of lazy, fat fucking kids these days. It's the truth.
Well,
do you agree on that or disagree?
The numbers would agree.
There you go. It's the truth. I mean, fucking. You watch a crowd of kids get off a fucking bus.
Yeah.
And them other wobble weebles are wobbling all over the place. You don't see very. You go to a poor fucking neighborhood and you'll see some little fuckers that are in shape still.
Yeah.
But you go to the rich kids, they're fucking all little fat fucks running around.
No, I would.
Is it disagree because of the food?
I would disagree with that. Yeah, I think more poor people are fat than there are.
Well, as adults, they damn sure are.
Well, no, I even think that the kids, just because the food quality that they get is so poor.
Do you agree on the Walmart shit with the fucking carts?
What'd they do?
I see people at Walmart all the time If them fuckers would get up and walk down the fucking aisles, they wouldn't be so fat. I'm a fat
motorized
guy.
carts.
I was a fatter guy, but I'm still a fat guy. But I was a fat guy because of Jeff.
Right.
I never got in a fucking cart and rode around that son of a bitches with their ankles hanging over the fucking shoes and shit. Get up and walk.
Right.
You know?
Well, maybe they can't. Maybe their sciatica's bothering them that day.
Yeah, it's because they need to lose some fucking weight. I'm telling you right now that you can.
You're a former fat person.
I'm
and you're
still a fat person.
You're quite condescending to the overnourished people.
No, because
you're
I've been
a dickhead
there.
to them.
I've been there. I know.
Jeff.
I know.
I heard you and Coach Steele talking all weekend
about fat people.
Y'all are rude to fat people.
No, we just notice it.
And listen, it's not a good attitude.
What's wrong with our attitude?
You're fat shaming.
No, we've been there. I talked to a lady this weekend that was fat.
Did you tell her she needed to have? Did you
said,
slip
hey,
her a business card to
no,
Tijuana?
I said, ma'am, I had surgery to take care of that. No, we were talking.
That's ugly of you.
We were talking, and Coach Steele brought up us having surgery. He said, yeah, we used to not be able to fit in this elevator with you because me and him were real big. And she said, really?
Oh, trust me, I remember this conversation.
I said, yes, we had surgery. She goes, I've been thinking about having that. I said, I would highly recommend it.
What a dick.
Why is it? She was nice about it. I wasn't being rude.
I would highly recommend it, you fat bitch.
No, I would highly recommend going to the place we went to is what I said. I didn't say she had to have surgery. But I'm just telling you, but I see these people at Walmart and then fucking got this deal in there. And they're in this fucking cart, going down there. Get off the fucking cart and walk a little bit.
You get your stomach stapled shut and you just
I
start being rude to fat people. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
I've been there.
No, you're being a dick
I know.
to fat people.
Look at Tony all weekend. I'm going to lose some weight. So I tried to help him stop eating, and he didn't. You see him drinking Dr. Peppermingo.
Well,
you know?
It's a life choice, Jeff.
It is.
He's not ready for it.
It is. And I'm not telling everybody to go have a surgery. That's not what I'm after. I'm just saying we are raising a bunch of fat kids, and I was the same way.
But
I wasn't raised that way, but I like to eat, and I don't like to exercise. And you used to always tell me, do more and eat less.
Yeah, it's losing weight is quite simple.
Well, no, it's not simple.
It is.
It's simple for a skinny guy.
If you have a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. If you burn more calories than you take in, you'll lose weight. Cut and dry, doesn't matter if you're on the fucking moon or where you're at. If you follow that meal plan, you burn more than you consume, you'll lose weight.
Well, that fat fucker going
simple.
On the fucking at Walmart, them motherfuckers couldn't even want to eat a saltine cracker because they're not doing shit.
But here's the deal. Again, Jeff, kids don't know anything. All they can do is look at their parents and do what their parents did. That's it.
No, not disagreeing with you on that, but we have a bunch of overweight young people in this country.
And that's because the parents they're not a shining example of how you're supposed to live.
I think another thing is too many fucking meals are pre-done.
I don't think so. I think it's because nobody moves that ass anymore.
They also eat processed food that we didn't have when I was a kid.
Nobody moves their ass no more.
That's true.
They don't ride bikes. They don't rollerblade. They don't skateboard. They eat Cheetos and all this stuff.
And play video games.
And they play video games all day.
You're right. They're wearing them fucking thumbs out, though, fucking skateboarding on Tony Hawk.
Do you think, so let's say human beings live to be, let's say we go 10,000 years into the future.
We're going to be some really fat fuckers.
Are there going to be, like our fingers and tentacles, like are we just going to have like fucking fingers that are like an index finger that's that long and a thumb that's like that long?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know. I've never understood how that all worked anyways. But
what do you mean?
Well, how we have adapted to different situations.
It's taken a long time.
And I wonder why all of a sudden we're going to lose all our other fingers. I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to lose all of our others, but like your so the way you hold your phone, your pinky would have to get a little bit stronger because that's uncomfortable. Your thumb might do something weird.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
We've got a lot of changes coming, but we do have.
But Elon Musk is going to put all that in your head, so
we do have way too many damn overweight kids, though. And I noticed more and more. And I noticed at the show this weekend.
That's because you're a former fat person. You're just rude.
I've noticed. I was an asshole before that.
Just rude about fat people.
No, I am fat still. I notice.
But you're losing weight.
But I am. But I cheated. I had surgery, and that wasn't an easy deal. So anybody that thinks it's easy, it's not easy. But still,
easier than doing it the other way.
It is that. I didn't want my heart to explode doing that exercise shit.
Have you even started walking yet?
Yeah, I walk all the time. I walked in here today. I'll put in 4,000 steps a day at least. I'm trying to get up to 6,000.
4,000 steps?
That's only a mile.
Oh, that's not very
Or
far.
2 miles. It's 2 miles.
No, 3,000 steps is a mile. I think.
Usually it's 4 to 6, and sometimes over 6. Some
Where
days
the
8.
fuck are you walking to have 4,000 steps?
I walk all the time.
Where?
Around that. I just do things. I'm a lot more active than I used to be. A lot more active. And I'm doing more and more all the time. I swam a quarter of a mile the other day again. Swam yesterday again.
Oh, no. You're right. If you're doing 4,000, 2,000 steps is approximately a mile.
I do 2 miles, and I'm swimming a quarter of a mile. And I'm going to tell you right now, swimming a fucking quarter mile, that don't sound like long. That's a lot of fucking swimming.
Jeff, the F word is just, it's unbearable.
Okay.
I've been more conscious of that since people say that I'm the F word dropper.
You do.
Not anymore. It's going to be you. I'm not saying it near as much.
We're going to bet on this one?
I'm not saying
How much do you want to bet?
What?
From now to this point until July 4th, who says the F word more?
Like everywhere or just on the air? Everywhere
push
or just
mow
on
the
air?
other one's yard.
I'm not doing that. I barely got through push mowing my yard today.
Did you mow today?
I did.
I had mowed before I got back. I need to mow tonight.
Well, I know that we're going to be out of town, so I'm trying to time it to where I can mow again before we leave.
I'm going to have the guy mow your yard while we're gone.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
He'll do it wrong.
How do you mow a yard wrong?
You can.
Okay.
Because I went side to side today. It's got to be mowed vertically the next time I mow it, and then it'd have to be mowed side to side again the next time.
Boy, you're a lot of fucking work.
Jeff.
Lots
the
of work.
F word. And I worked on a golf course. I know how grass grows.
Yeah, from below.
No. You can't let your grass get too comfortable. That's why you got to, on the green, you have to go up and down, side to side, diagonal right to left, and then left to right the next day. And then you repeat the process all over again. So your grass doesn't get too comfortable and the ball moves true. You want true ball movement on the green.
Do you think they've taken do you think we've went overboard on all these different months for shit, like the Pride Month?
What other month do we have?
We should, we have a Black History Month. We've
had that for a while.
We have a Mexican Day.
Okay, poor fuckers.
But I don't understand. This Pride Month stuff, first 2-3 days is okay, but now it's everything and every commercial. Why the hell can't
month is a long time.
Why can't you just be gay and be happy?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person because I'm not gay and I'm definitely not happy.
But I don't get that. I don't understand what they're seeking that we have that's better. I mean, I can't think of any advantage I've ever had by being straight.
Well, and there's no month.
If you're bisexual, you kind of have an advantage because you can make your pleasure yourself 2 different ways.
Yeah, I'm a strong advocate for Tony to just go bi.
So he can double his chances.
Just double your odds. You'll never be lonely.
But do you see
always have a date?
Do you see where I'm coming from, though? I think we've pushed this narrative so much, and I really don't know what gay people are losing out on these days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. But like I said,
I mean, I've never been to any.
1994 was the original Pride Month.
But I've never been anywhere where they're like, "Are you straight or gay?" Well, I'm straight. Okay, well, you got to sit over there, but the gay people are going to they got to sit in the closet or whatever. I've never been anywhere.
I don't know. I mean, is it
in 1955? They probably were. There was a lot of things that they were, you know.
Well, and I mean, this might just be a way of
stirring up shit,
raising awareness to their cause. I don't know.
I mean, I don't care if you're gay. But Jesus, we're day 15 or 16. What day is this, anyways?
15th.
15th. It's half the month, and I'm sick and tired of every commercial being that way. And then it's Black History Music Month or something. Black Artist Month.
This month?
On some channel I saw today about black artists, music artists. Well, where would we be without black singers? We wouldn't be fucking having very much good music. You know? I agree with them on that. But, I mean, fuck. You know? Where's the white man who first done taxidermy day? We gonna have a day for him? I mean, enough's enough fucking days. When are we gonna have asshole day for me?
It's a time to pay respects to the struggles that have yet to be overcome.
And then I saw a commercial today, and it was Black King Day for Father's Day for black people. All these black celebrities coming out about their dad. Well, that's great. You had a good dad. I'm happy for you. I had a good dad too, but we're not going to have White King Day, and we shouldn't. I just get sick of the division all the damn time.
Yeah.
I just think it's ridiculous to divide all this shit up over straight, gay, white, black, brown, blue, green. Poor fucking Chinese people, they don't get shit.
No.
I mean, they don't have a Chinese holiday of any sort.
Did you know that Martin Luther King was a terrible husband? Cheated on his wife all the time? All the time. Like he was a big philanderer.
Okay. I don't care, though.
Well, it's interesting.
Well, why do you care if he cheated on his wife?
I just find it interesting that, this guy that's this, this...
He was about civil rights, not about his wife.
This great figure, and couldn't keep it in his pants.
Well, if he'd had a white wife, he'd have cheated on her too, probably.
You don't find that interesting about people that become like, this great cause, but
So he shouldn't have any other...
terrible... I don't know. Like, would you figure on Martin Luther King being a good husband? Wouldn't you?
Never thought of him as a husband. I don't find him attractive.
But wouldn't you figure
No,
if that's his cause, just like Bill Cosby, that took me out of left field. America's dad is date raping people?
Well, that surprises me more than Martin Luther King cheating on his wife.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think he was a serial cheater.
What's the difference?
There it is right there. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. He's got this Christ-like figure, often portrayed today. Because when I grew up, I mean, what year did he die?
1960 something. I don't know.
Anyway, when I was being brought up and learning in school, he was this iconic figure for civil rights. And I mean, you just don't really think that he would screw around on his wife.
Were you shocked Bill Clinton cheats on his wife?
1968. He wasn't made into this.
He was president of the United States.
He wasn't made into this Gandhi-like figure, though.
As things go down, people will get more and more.
Well, they get better every year that they die.
And he's like everyone else.
Bill Clinton, he's just president.
Yeah.
1968, April 4th.
When did he get shot?
April 4th, 1968.
I wonder why we have his day. I guess because his birthday's in January then. I know they had a lot of shit on him.
I wonder if that was the deal. He was a serial adulterer.
Yeah, they had the FBI knew all about that shit. What was the director of the John Edgar or Hoover?
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover was on his ass. They said so. So Malcolm X too.
He was on King's ass.
No, Malcolm X. They were watching him also. They was disrupting the country. And I'm not saying it was in a bad way. He was just, it was a disruption going on, so they were doing some... Martin Luther King had some great, great, great things that he talked about and wanted to do. He wanted equal rights, and I'm with him 100% on equal rights. We have went beyond equal rights. We have went to a time now
Been over backwards.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. Everybody should be equal. That's why I don't understand why we have this Gay Pride Month. Tony, you think Gay Pride Month should be a day or a month?
What?
Do you think Gay Pride Month is a little too much? Yeah. See, I think they've went so far to try to make everybody included on shit that you get to this shit right now going on.
King's right-hand man Ralph Abernathy wrote in his 1989 autobiography that the staff all understood and believed in the biblical prohibition against sex outside the marriage. It was just that he had a particularly difficult time with that temptation. Abernathy also wrote that King had a weakness for the women. Called him a hypocritical preacher.
I'm sure that's true. I don't know if this is true or not, and I read this in a book, and I saw a documentary one time about it, but it said when he got shot that there was a young preacher there named Jesse Jackson, and that Jesse Jackson ran over to MLK after he was dead, and he took the blood from his chest, and he rubbed it on his suit, and he went over and told him that Martin Luther King told him that he wanted him to take his place.
Yeah, you've said that before.
So... and I think he's a fucking trashy fucking dude anyways.
Martin Luther King distrusted him.
No, I like Martin Luther King. I didn't trust
no,
Jesse
it's saying
Jackson.
Martin, why Martin Luther King distrusted Jesse Jackson.
I've never understood a preacher that preached hate. And Jesse Jackson has preached some shit about white people that's you just can't love God and do that kind of stuff. Same with Reverend Al. Matter of fact, they should not even be allowed to be called reverends.
Where do you draw the line though?
Martin Luther King, I've never heard him. And I was dead. I mean, he was dead before I was really even, I just was born. But I've never seen him say anything bad about someone else or to
take anything he said about marriage with a grain of salt.
I'd never heard him talk about marriage, so I didn't know. That's what I'm saying. But I've seen him talk about equal rights and that, had a dream and all that stuff. And he was right. That was a horrible time for a lot of people. But now that they push this narrative of division and hate all the time, and I'm tired of it. I don't think that we should have all this hatred in the world about everything. I'm gonna tell you what, if you live in the United States, you're fucking lucky.
Anywhere in the West.
Yes, and so you should,
Canada.
You go to Africa right now, and it's horrible. I mean, they got little girls enslaved by Boko Haram. They got all that shit going on. They got slavery still over there. And then we're going to march on our streets every time something happens bad to somebody. And usually what's bad is the bad people shit happens to are bad people.
What's funny is when you see like the people that march about the evil 1%. Well, if you zoom out a little bit and you look at the entire world, if you're born in the United States or anywhere in the West, really, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, anywhere that's got a modern society, you're in the 1%.
Yeah, I saw a deal.
Easy.
I saw a deal in Dallas today. There was a Section 8 housing deal, and the ladies were bitching and raising hell because they didn't have air conditioning. I understand that. I would not want my air conditioner to go out either.
Right.
But air conditioning is not a God-given right. It's a luxury. Mm-hmm. If my air conditioner goes out, guess who's having to pay for that to be fixed?
Jeff Stanfield.
Yeah. I don't have a government place that they're going to pay for that shit. There's nowhere in the world that says that you're entitled to have air conditioning.
Yeah.
I didn't have air conditioning until I was in 5th or 6th grade. We had box fans in a window, and you blew the window, the hot air out of the house, and it sucked in cool air. Pretty common. And that's the world that I lived in.
I don't know how you did it.
You get acclimated to it, and you grow up that way, and it's different.
We drove to Abilene in my wife's car, air conditioner's going out. That was a miserable bitch. I was a moody bastard.
You roll down the windows and go. I used to have a 255 air conditioner in my old truck. Roll down both windows and you go 55. They used to have these little wings on your windows, and you could push them in. You could get more air, but it was hot, but you got acclimated to it. The
kids were bitching.
Of course they were. They were hot.
Bad.
But
you take the poor kids out of the car seat and they're just drenched in sweat.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I'm just saying though.
And it's going to be the end of the month before they can fix it.
Somewhere in this world, these people think that we owe them that. We don't owe you air conditioning. Is it a luxury? Yes. I saw a really interesting deal talking about the young people today. Young people today are the most spoiled peckerheads that ever lived. They've grew up in a house that's air conditioned.
Right.
They grow up with an electronic device. None of them can walk to school. They got to get dropped off at school. So Smith to drive a gas guzzler to go drop them off at school. Mm-hmm. Their schools are air conditioned. Mm-hmm. They can't eat just something. They got to go to a separate place. For mom's got to pick up 4 different things to get them eat. And these kids are the ones telling us about we need to green energy and shit. What's your fucking? It's your parents.
I don't think it's high school kids.
No, but it's just talking about you. They're the generation that's preaching all this stuff, and their parents. Well, they're the ones that are using up all the fossil fuels. Their kids don't even know how to walk to school anymore.
Right.
They and it's that way about this whole last 30 years of kids. You don't know nothing about the kind of stuff we grew up. Me and Tony know about walking somewhere and riding a bike somewhere, and we know about having a house without an air conditioner. We understand when there wasn't no cable TV, cell phones. We remember those days, and so when I've seen them ladies bitching about the air conditioning, I'm thinking, you're not paying for that anyways. You're paying $7 a month to live there, and you're on a reduced electric rate and shit. So really, what are you bitching about? You have a place to live for free or $7 a month, You don't even have to pay rent. And there are slumlords out there that's bad. I agree with that. But there's nobody owes you that.
Well, you can't put the genie back in the bottle either, though.
No, that's the problem, though, and you're right about that. But I'm on this page, and I listen to this stuff all the time, and I see this, and then they had a deal the other day where people are getting information on how to get another stimulus check, and they're giving $1,500 a month for some people for food stamps. What the fuck are they eating? Fucking veal or Kobe beef?
Mm-hmm. But your F-word counter is just going through the roof.
That's okay. But and that's not fair to the people that work in this country. And these people just lined up wanting free, and we're getting more and more people wanting the free shit and less. Our old workers are all dying. The young people coming in aren't working. They're all wanting free stuff. How are these kids that are living in these situations where they get free? What makes you think none of them are going to want to get up and go to work?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, you know what? We don't have to get married. We can have 2 or 3 kids, and government will send us a check, and they'll give us a place to live with air conditioning. Well, that's bullshit. I'm tired of it.
I don't disagree with you, but what do you do?
I don't have the answer. Well, I know what you do.
You just bitching
you
to
cut
bitch,
them
or
off.
do you have a...
No, you cut it. You end this shit.
Really?
Yep, that's what you do.
What, like
tough love
to what level?
I don't ever want to see a kid go without. I would like to see the government, instead of giving EBT cards to all this stuff, I would like to see EBT cards only go to certain things: cereal, oatmeal, meat, milk, cheese. No snack foods at all. None.
So the poor kids can't have snacks?
The mom and dad get off their ass and get a job and buy them some snacks.
Yeah, but then
you can buy flour, water, and sugar.
You're
fucking bake something. How did the fucking people make stuff in the 1950s? They didn't have boxes of cakes and stuff. They made it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You give someone flour, sugar, milk, water, yeast, they can bake a cake.
Jeff, they're too lazy to get a job. They're not going to cook.
Well, then they'll go hungry.
The kids will?
Mom can get off her ass and make a cake.
Oof.
I'm serious. Milk, orange juice, apple juice, just stuff like that. That's all you can get on that. That's it. That's what we're going to have to do. You know, there's a difference between getting commodities and getting luxuries.
Well.
And I think if you took a poll, most people are sick of it. No sodas on that shit either.
No soda?
Nope. Not on EBT cards. You shouldn't be able to buy Coke and stuff. You can drink water. You know? Save you up some money and buy you some Kool-Aid and put some sugar in it that you're getting free.
America's sounding like a hellhole.
Well, America's sounding like it needs to get off its ass and start doing some stuff, or we're never going to get rid of these people doing this. I mean, it's getting worse and worse and worse. I went to school at a poor elementary school, and people didn't get nothing like they get now, and everybody survived. I didn't see I didn't go to school with one kid that was malnourished. Did you ever hear Lou Holtz talk about his dad? Said they ate dinner one time, and he said, we were never hungry. And he goes, well, that's what my dad always used to tell me. Oh, boy, you're not hungry. That's enough eating right there. And that's all they had.
Yeah.
But we've got to do something with the welfare system. And you can't keep giving people money for having more kids, you know? And it's that we're at a bad spot in our country right now when it comes to this. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And what's bad is you got all these fucking congressmen and stuff up there. They don't care about those people.
But I think this is all part of the plan, Jeff.
What's this plan? To get everybody on the government tit?
Yep.
Then who's going to work to provide? This deep state that thinks...
This is the big plan,
Okay,
Jeff.
the big
this
plan.
This is the big plan.
Who's going to work and fix all this shit up?
The Chinese. They're going to come over here.
We might get some shit done then. I bet the fuckers in Chinese ain't getting fucking Little Debbie brownies and shit for free.
No. This is all part of the plan, Jeff.
Well, the plan sucks.
The plan works.
And they're killing this country.
The country's dead.
It is.
It's dead.
We are on life support right now.
Well, no, the plug's been pulled.
You think so?
Oh, it's gone. Mm-hmm. No, fuck no, I don't think so, Jeff.
You think the world... You don't think our country's in trouble?
I'm way too optimistic.
You don't think our country's in trouble?
I think it's got challenges, but I think we'll right the ship.
What?
We always have.
We're a lot different world than we used to live in.
Everybody says that. Every generation says that.
No, I think the last 30 years, there's some really good people, but there's more of them that's not good.
Every generation has said, this is it.
I mean, when kids graduate from school or go to school and they don't graduate, and their whole world is to have the government provide for them, and there's a lot more of those, we're in trouble.
I don't know anybody like that.
You don't?
Well,
on your way home,
show me a graduate from this last year that says...
I don't know any of the kids that graduate, but there's just...
You're talking through your butt again.
No, I'm not. You go by these projects, housing projects, especially go to the big cities, and it's full of kids, 18, 19, 20, they're getting their own apartments. They don't do nothing.
That's what it said in their diploma or on their yearbook?
No.
Just going to live off the government?
But they do, and more of them are doing it, and that's a problem.
So
we've got a big problem with that.
What if...
How many kids... Well, hold on.
What about this? What if you cannot get on welfare? Well, no, that would incentivize...
Who do you know that can't get on welfare?
I'm trying to reform welfare to where it's not getting abused. I was going to say not have welfare until you have kids, but that would just incentivize having more kids.
We've been knocking people up at 13.
So... I don't know how to reform.
We've got people living in the ones right here in Knox City that have lived there the same time I've lived here.
Mm-hmm.
In 30 years, you couldn't manage to get your own place?
Housing's hard to find in Knox City, Jeff.
No, it's not. You know it's not. It's just gotten worse and worse. And until we fix it, and the only way to fix it is tough love. But the politicians who make these deals, they don't want to fix it. They just want to vote.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah. Their plan is to keep getting reelected. And that's what's bad, is they're not doing what's best for the country. They're doing what's best for them as a politician.
But how many of these people vote?
I'm assuming in the last election, a bunch of them and a bunch of dead people.
You think so?
I'm assuming.
I don't think a lot of these people vote.
Well, in Texas, it didn't make a difference. But a lot of the big cities, they do, because they go around and they harvest the votes.
Oh. I'm way too optimistic.
You are. And maybe you're a fool.
We'll be fine. Maybe you're
and I hope
maybe you're just nihilistic and
I'm old now, and as
I've
I've gotten older,
old curmudgeon.
I've gotten that way. But it's sad to see that. I mean, I dealt with that last year on unemployment with a girl filed unemployment that wasn't even ready for it. She'd been fired, and then 3 months later she wants to get on unemployment from us to collect that extra money. Bullshit.
Plus, I don't like bitching just to bitch. Like, if I'm gonna bitch, I want to find a solution. You're not offering me any solutions.
I gave you a solution on the food deal.
To just meat and cheese?
No, I gave you other things they could have.
Meat, cheese, and bread.
Meat, cheese, bread, sugar, flour, commodities. Milk. I don't want to see cereal. I don't want to see a kid go hungry. It's not about a kid being hungry. It's about their parents starting to take. You had this kid. Sure. And you chose to have this kid, because you don't have to have the kids, because they're trying to push for that shit too. But you had this child. How can you put a child in our country and not want to take care of it? I mean, I don't want to think about my kids. I don't want to look at Fat Tony sitting over there with his old bummed up.
Just sucking up the AC.
I don't want to see, if Tony was going without something, it would break my heart. I'd do everything I could to help him. He's not my responsibility. Mm-hmm. He's not my mom and dad's responsibility. He's 50 fucking years old. But if I was hurting and going without, Tony would be the same towards me. I understand you taking care of your loved ones. I don't understand how you can just ignore your children needing something and not want to do something to better their life and your life.
Maybe it's pride. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we don't have any pride.
Oh, I think some of us do have pride. It's the people that don't have pride that just take shit left and right. You see on Facebook all the time.
Braddock, he gave away, the boxer, Cinderella Man. Remember this?
No.
Okay. James Braddock was a boxer, and then the Depression hit, and he was living in government housing, couldn't get a job, so he took government assistance. He started boxing again, won a couple big bouts, got back on his feet. He repaid the government everything he took.
That's great. I don't have a problem with people even getting on welfare to help themselves or in need. That's the deal. See, anybody that's against welfare, they come out, it's so much you don't care, and blah. It's not that we don't care. We don't have a problem with anybody getting a helping hand. But it's not there to live the rest of your life on. And that's the problem we're facing. I see people get on Facebook all the time. Boy, it'd be nice to have a steak tonight, but I don't have no money and blah, blah. And I see this shit all the time. Well, you know what? Instead of sitting down and writing down fucking something on Facebook, go out and ask your neighbor if you can mow their yard, and maybe they'll buy you a steak.
So, one further, what about Social Security?
I think Social Security, that's not an entitlement. The people paid into that shit.
Should we have Social Security?
Yes.
We should.
Yes.
I don't think we should. I think if you can't...
What about... Hold on. What about the people that's paid in all this time? They should just lose what they paid in?
I don't think we should have ever had Social Security.
Well, I wasn't here when it was around.
I think this goes back to personal responsibility. You have to plan for your future. You have to plan for the days where you're not working anymore.
I would have no problem...
You have to stock away money.
Okay. I have no problem with the government going and paying everybody back every dime they've gotten from them and then doing away with it right there. But it's not fair for someone like me.
Do you not see Social Security as being like an extension of the welfare system?
No, it's paid into. Why is that welfare?
You're getting more money than what you pay in.
Bullshit on that.
You do.
Fuck that. You don't either.
Yes,
you name 3 people that you know that got more money than they paid in. And we're going to be waiting all fucking day right here.
The first lady that ever collected it. She paid $20 in. She got like $24,000.
You think Dad got back more than he paid in? No.
How much did he get?
Well, if he's got $1,500 a month and he lived on it for 10 years,
I don't pay $1,500 a month in Social Security.
No, by the time you paid all that money in for 50 freaking years and the interest should have been paid on it.
How much money?
$300,000 or $400,000 easy. They say the average person is paid in with interest. They should have about $500,000.
So why is Social Security broke?
Because they take that money and they pay other things. Your grandfather, your mom's dad, Charlie, he died before he ever collected a dime of Social Security.
That's bad luck.
what about all the other people that's paid in all them years that never collected
Then why
a dime?
is it so? Then why is
Because
there
they
a
take
deficit?
the money and pay somewhere else. It's not broke because of paying people Social Security payments. It's broke because they've taken that money and used it for other things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the shit. Like all the illegals they want to start giving it to. That's the reason it's broke. It's not broke from the people that paid in.
Social Security.
First of all, when I started paying into Social Security when I was fucking 10 years old, when I had my first job, 10, in the 70s, I started paying in money. And it was back then, when you get to turn 62 years old, you can fully retire on your Social Security benefits. And they used to send you something every 6 months or a year and say, if your spouse dies or you die, this is your benefits you will expect. Well, then it was 62, then it was 64 and 66. Now it's 72 years old before you can get 100% of your Social Security. Social Security is not the politicians want to act like Social Security is welfare. It's not. That's money. That's your money you paid in.
But why are you having to pay it in when you could just plan for your own retirement?
Because the government makes you do it.
I understand.
I'm not. We're talking about two different things. I don't disagree.
I don't think that we are.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't. But for people
I'm
like me
saying-
that's paid in for 30 years,
that would
I
suck.
want my money back then.
Sure, that would be bad. But what I'm saying is why can't people have the responsibility to plan for their future and get the government out of it?
I don't have a problem with that. I don't. There's been a lot of politicians wanting to do that, but they don't. But don't act like people that are getting Social Security payments are getting fucking welfare check. There's a big difference between a Social
I didn't
Security
say it was a
check.
welfare check. I
Well-
said it was an extension of.
No, it's not. Not for Social Security. There's other things, SSI and shit are things that you get. That's for people that are fucking got this. The big thing now is I'm bipolar. No, you're fucking crazy is what you are. But you can get a fucking job like other crazy people. You know, you're looking at two different things. You're not looking
No,
at,
I'm trying to find how long you'd have to be on Social Security to get back what you paid in.
why don't you just put in what the average person pays in for Social Security and we'll do the math real quick.
Average what? Social Security.
Monthly payment right there, the first one.
Hold on, go down here. $1,300.
$1,300 a month. So in a year, you're going to get $16,000 back. Okay? If you've paid in to 60, the average person starts working at 16 years old and they retire at 62. That's 46 years. Now, in 46 years, now look up what the average amount of money how much average Social Security amount with interest should be. I don't know what
Hold on.
exactly.
I'm going to see what so I'm going to look up what the average person pays in.
Do that.
There it is right there. 13,000 for, hold on, that's income again.
That's received.
Why can I not find that?
If you look, because they probably don't want you to know, average, put in there, what would the average American have in his Social Security balance when he retires if he could collect it all at once? If he could get a lump sum.
Okay. A lot of dead air here. Lump sum Social Security. I don't think it's going to show us anything. Because I think is there a method to where you can get the lump sum?
No. George Bush wanted to do it, but
you can select the lump sum election method if it lowers the taxable portion of your benefits.
Of your benefits, but you can't get a lump sum.
Lump sum.
That's for disability. If you would put what is the average person paid in Social Security in his life?
Social Security. Let's see if we find that. $3,000 a year.
Okay. Plus another $712 was paid on average in the hospital insurance trust. So you're paying about $3,700 a
Call
year.
it $4,000.
You pay 12. You pay 12.4%.
Company pays 6.2. The government pays 6.2.
So the person pays 12%. So
12.5%.
So that would be about $4,000 on the average American
Yes.
salary. It's
Yes.
about $4,000.
okay, $4,000 a year. Now you put $4,000 a year,
and you get
put that
$1,500 a month.
no, hold on, $4,000, and you put that over 35 years. It's $140,000 plus interest. You're going to have about $300,000 that you've put in there over your life.
Okay.
Now $300,000 at $1,300 a month.
It was $1,500.
$1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year. That means you would have to be on Social Security 20-something years
Do what?
to break even on your money on what they're paying you.
Do that again.
$1,500 a month is $18,000. $300.
Bump that up to $4,000, just to make it easy. That way, there's not this $3,700. $4,000. So that's
No, you're not going by that. I'm talking about
Why?
your lifetime. In your lifetime, you will have
per year is what we were figuring out.
yeah, and over time that would have been $160-something thousand plus interest is going to make it about $350,000.
Right.
So you've got $350,000 that they're going to pay you at $1,500. We're going to get all kinds of corrections on this shit from everybody. At $1,500 a month is $18,000. That's going to be right at 20 years, probably
What's
20
the
to
1,500?
That's what you're getting per month back. You've paid in. When you go to retire, you're going to have $350,000 to $500,000 that you've paid in if they was paying you interest on your money, which they're sending to China or some other fucking place.
So so you're getting
$15,000
$16,000 a year.
$18,000
a year.
Yeah. So that's 20-something thousand a year. So if you live to be 88 years old, then you're
that.
beating the system.
And then what's the average person live to now?
78. And some people won't even take out a payment till they're 72. If they do that, that would be 90-something. That's why I tell everybody, you might as well take that fucking money up front.
75 years old for men.
Okay. So anyways, if you start taking your money at 62 and you live to be 85 years old, you will still be on your money.
Oh, no, that's in the world.
Okay. But do you see where I'm coming from?
Life expectancy for women is 81, men is 77.
Okay. You're not going to live, if you live your average life, you still are beating, or Social Security is still winning. So now, how do you tell me that they're fucking spending, it's the government's, that's not entitlement. That's not welfare. That's your money.
Well, it's all our money.
No, that's your money. You paid it in.
Oh, no, exactly. But it's all our money going to all this other shit, too.
You're right. But when you take a guy like Charlie who died, why can't his family, let's say Charlie would have been married.
Well, it's just a gamble that you got to take.
It's not even a gamble. You don't have an option on this.
That's what I'm saying.
George
the government
Bush
made the rules.
George Bush one time said that he wanted to do a lump sum where when you turn 62 years old, you can take so much. You could wait till you're 66 or 72 and get a lump sum of money. Then you don't get nothing from the government ever again. And if you die, your spouse, your widow, or your kids can get that money. It's your money. It's only fair. You see people.
I mean, that's probably why they didn't want to give everybody all that money. They don't want to give them all up front. They'll just blow it.
It doesn't matter. It's none of their business.
But Social Security, from what I've understand, is it was set up to take care of people when they can't take care of themselves anymore. It's to give them a safety net for when they retire. Is that correct?
Safety net is exactly right of their own money.
So the government is saying, I'm going to protect you from you by taking your money up front. You're not even going to see it. I'm just going to take it out of your account. It's going to come out of your check and it's going to come to me because I don't trust what you're going to do with your money. I can't trust what you're going to do. You're going to spend it all, and you're going to be a leech on the system when you're 75 years old and you can't take care of yourself. That's what the government is saying by Social Security.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But why can't once you die, then your family ought to get that money?
If you extend that line of thinking, it would make sense as to why they would say, "Fuck no, we're not giving them a lump sum. They'll just blow it all."
Okay, but why about when they die? Then they ought to say, "Well, you know what? Jeff only collected Social Security for X amount of years. He's got X amount of money left. We're going to give it to his wife or his kids. That's his money. Same as if it's a retirement plan.
Part of the game.
It's not a game, though. That's what I'm saying.
To the government.
But the government comes on and says, we got to do this for Social Security. We got to do this. No, you're not. You're taking their money. So it's not a welfare at all. There's very few people that have ever collected more money from Social Security than they paid in. Maybe the first 15 years, but after that, no. Because that lady's Social Security check was probably $100 or something, $150. Because the people that retired, like my grandfather, he was 99 years old when he died. So he probably did collect more for Social Security than he paid. He also collected a whole lot more from General Motors than he ever paid in. But there's not very many people that collect more other than the people they've just put on it, like the illegals and stuff recently.
67.9 million people received benefits. 5.6 people were newly awarded. 55% of adults, Social Security beneficiaries in 2018 were women. That's not going to tell me anything.
But it's a screwed up system. And every time you see someone that dies that's young, that doesn't have kids and stuff, any money they spent is just part of the government's.
Right.
And it's
part
not
of the game, Jeff.
It's a bullshit deal. So when someone says, and when I was young, I didn't give a shit either. But now that I'm getting older, I'm thinking, you know what? 9 years, I can start collecting Social Security. I'm going to take that shit at 62. Why shouldn't I? It's my money.
You'll definitely blow it.
Well, what the fuck else am I going to do with it? I'm going to spend it.
Definitely blow it.
There you go.
Expected to pay $600,000 in taxes for it, and expected to receive
$579,000, and you'll never collect none of that.
paying in more than you'll get. I don't know. I don't know how we got on this rabbit hole.
Well, it's a screwed up.
I paid $316,000. So we were pretty close on our numbers.
Yep. All right, let's get off of here.
Yeah, I got to meet a guy about a guy. Anyway, I think Social Security is a losing bet, and people should take more responsibility in their future than what they do. That's all I was trying to get out of it. Welfare was a bad example on my part, but it still holds true that people are not responsible for themselves. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had to have Social Security. Unless the government was like, hey, listen, we can tell them this is for their golden years. They'll pay it all the time. We can do all this other shit with it.
Rob Peter to pay Paul. And they just kept putting it up.
Like, they'll just be happy.
I think that, and we're
looking out for you.
Well, now we're really screwed because there's going to be less people in the workforce, and that's what they're talking about. But it all comes down to this. If the government would do with that money what they should do with it, it's a great thing. It'd be a great savings plans for everyone and everything else.
Yeah, on paper, it's a great idea.
They don't use it like they should be.
To be clear, Social Security. So it was created after the Depression. I wonder if that had something.
I'm sure there was a lot of people that were hungry and stuff, and
the government was saying, "Hey, if we'd have made it like a savings account for you guys."
I'm sure that's how it was sold at once. But now I like the idea of them saying, you know what, you've paid in $360,000. So when you turn 62 years old, that money's already been taxed. That's your money.
Can you see how much you've paid in? And like,
It just shows you a calculator of how much your payments will be and stuff.
But like, there's not like an account with Jeff Stanfield and like
last time I looked, it showed how much I could collect at 62 and 66 and 72, and I was doing the math of about $900 more a month between 62 and 72, and I thought, fuck that, that's $10,000 a year, and I'd have to live 10 more years. Nah, fuck that. I'll take it at 62 and take what I get.
What is this? The trust fund is set to run out 2033.
Yeah, who knows? They've fucked us so many times. The whole country has. And it's a bullshit deal. And, you know, take this money that we're giving these other countries and put some money into that Social Security, you know. And see, people say we need to pay them more. I don't really know that you pay them more. It should be based on what you paid in. But you should make it right for the people that pay in.
Bigger part of the problem is there are fewer workers to support the growing number of retirees. Fucking baby boomers are going to just kill us on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't have been that way because their money should just be there.
That's right. The money should have never been touched. If it was done like it was supposed to be, all that money would be there.
The system is now paying out more benefits than it collects in income, with the difference coming from the so-called trust fund, the surplus.
Yeah, and if we
about to run out.
Cut off that fucking $2 billion we spent to Pakistan the other day and put it into that and some other shit, we'd be okay. If you let President Trump would run this country for about 10 years, he'd had that fixed too, probably.
Social Security?
Mm-hmm. He sure would have.
I don't know what his plans were.
I'm just saying, if you could have taken some money you spend on foreign aid and all that other bullshit and you put it into that would take care of them people and get some fucking people off that other shit they're on.
All right, I got to go.
Bye.
Bye. Check out all of our great sponsors. After that fun little debate, check out Gundog Outdoors, Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, Boss Shot Shells, Dirty Duck Coffee, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club, Eyesight Drone Services, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Bangtail Whiskey, and Goose Creek Retrievers.